Ron Rubio. I graduated St. Mary's College in 1978.
My name is Sarah Hollison, and I graduated St. Mary's, well, first in 2003. I got my credential in 2004, and I just got my master's this year.
My name is Nick Zarconi, and I graduated from St. Mary's College in 2005 with a degree in Business Administration.
I don't know what my expectations were when I first started, to be honest with you, but it was a really great experience. I had a lot of fun, great memories. Don't have a bad memory about the place.
Okay. Yes, I really knew that I wanted to go to St. Mary's. I went there when I was a freshman, and I don't know, I walked on campus and I liked the vibe, I liked what it looked like, I liked the way that people acted towards each other. I love the academics. I got to go in and see classes, and it's a small class size. If you've ever been in my sophomore honors class, you know that Socratic seminar is a huge part. That's all because of St. Mary's. So at St. Mary's, every year, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you take a Socratic seminar class, and so that's where I came up with it. And I liked the idea of a small enough class that I knew the people there, and my professors knew me.
St. Mary's was a great school. It's a phenomenal school. I had no idea what to expect. I went to a really tiny high school in Santa Cruz, and so when I got off to college, even though St. Mary's was a smaller school, it felt enormous to me. It felt like a big campus. It felt like a ton of people all around and in classes and outside in the hallways. So it was a shock to me to go to school with 3,000 or 4,000 people because I was used to a small high school. But I really enjoyed it, and over the time, I guess it did turn out to what I expected it to be.
They were good. They were pretty small, which was good. They were, I don't think I had a class with more than 40, 50 kids, and that was just a couple of lecture classes on Western Civ. Everything else was anywhere from 12 to 20 kids. Most of them were seminars, which at first I didn't like, but I was kind of shy and didn't talk much. My first couple years, about my junior and senior year, I was yapping away like everybody else. It was a good experience. Teach you how to talk, think on your feet, and become a little more articulate. So seminar classes were real positive, I thought. And I had a couple of teachers there in the history department that were just really good. Great storytellers, and they were great lecturers, and so just really enjoyed going to their classes, hearing what they had to say.
They were awesome. I think my biggest class that I had was 35, so it's a lot like high school in the sense that you know your professors, they know you. If you have a question, you get to ask a professor. That mattered to me. I've always liked to have a relationship with my teachers, and so I wanted to be able, if I had a question, to not talk to a student that would then talk to the professor. And when you go to a bigger school, that's what happens. I wanted access to my professors, and at St. Mary's, it's a Christian Brothers school, and so they're huge on education. And so when you choose to teach at St. Mary's, you're not just teaching your class. You commit to office hours and outreach things with the community, so it was great. I'd say my favorite professor wasn't an English professor, which obviously was my major, but I took an Eastern religions class, and I loved it. I mean, we learned about Buddhism and Hinduism and all this great stuff, and I think that that's a testament to St. Mary's. St. Mary's obviously is a Catholic school, but you don't have to be Catholic to go there. It's very open-minded. They want you to push yourself and to learn, and I appreciated that.
I studied business in college, and so when you're a business major, you have bigger classes. So I had some classes with 40 or 50 kids, but most of the time there were around 30 kids, so like a high school class. The professors were incredible, really neat people, really accessible. You could talk to them about anything at any time, and they were great professors. They were really knowledgeable, and I had a great time.
It was really good. It was very small, tight-knit. It was about 1,100 kids at the time. About 900, come on, Sue, do whatever you gotta do. About 900, yeah, just sit down, that's fine. About 900 stayed there, and about 200 commuted, so it was a real small, tight-knit group. You knew everybody, you walk around saying hi to everybody. It was very friendly, very low-key, very relaxed. Everybody got along real good.
It's fun. St. Mary's is so much fun. It's we don't have the Greek system, so there's not fraternities and sororities, because we're not big enough to need that. You have fun. I mean, you know most of the people. A lot of people say that they don't want to go to St. Mary's because it's too small. I knew a lot of the people that were there, but there are still people that I run into, because St. Mary's is a big school of education. A lot of people that go to St. Mary's become teachers. And so in this profession, I run into a lot of people that are like, oh, I went to St. Mary's, and I didn't know them. So it was the perfect size for me and the perfect community. And we got to do things that I liked. We had dances, and we had St. Mary's is the best thing. At the end of the year, we have a gigantic campus-wide party where you can invite one person, and one year it was Jamaica Me Crazy or whatever. They have bands come, and you just have a ton of fun, and it's just, you're on campus, nobody leaves, nobody drives anywhere, and so you're fun, and it's safe, and it's all in one place, and that's it.
The community, so I lived in the dorms for the first 2 years. Everybody lives in the dorms for the first year. And then most people live in the dorms freshman and sophomore year. So I did that. Got to know a lot of really good friends that I'm still good friends with, still keep in touch with. And then I lived in these apartments that were on campus junior year and senior year. And I lived with the same group of guys for 3 years in a row. So it was a ton of fun. Those guys are my lifelong friends, and I also played on the rugby team there. So most of the time I spent with either my roommates or the rugby team. And I think that's the best thing I did was join the team, because then you get a community inside of a larger community. So I enjoyed that.
Wow, best memory. There's a couple. Some of the basketball and football games are just really fun. You're just screaming and yelling and going crazy and having all kinds of fun. And then I remember my freshman year, and this is going to sound kind of goofy, but an English teacher invited us up to his room. He was a brother. And we read out of Once and Future King, which is probably the greatest book I've ever read in my life. And I'd never heard of it until he introduced it. It's about King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table. Just spectacular. And so he reads us some of the Once and Future King. He plays this strange little harpsichord spinet kind of thing. And then he made some weird little apricot tart, and then gave us tea. And I think, here we are in Brother Patrick's room at 10 o'clock at night, about half a dozen of us. Most of my buddies are from East Los Angeles, the barrio down there. And we're all kind of looking at each other like, what in the hell are we doing here? Eating apricot tarts, listening to the Once and Future King, and this guy's playing a harpsichord. And we were just like laughing. But he was the coolest guy. And it was just one of those really kind of weird, different experiences you would never have unless you went to college and did something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still fondly remember that. Just Brother Patrick's room, hanging out, eating apricot tart, listening to What's the Future King. And he read it very dramatically, and it was very cool, And it's still, a book I find very moving and very enjoyable. So it's just, that's probably one of my, little things that just roll around in my head.
Nice.
Oh, one more real quick. There was an SMC up at the top of the hill. And, one of those stupid things. Come on in, fellas, just put it down there. Did it turn out any good?
Yeah.
Good.
I think so.
And so we walked up there like 2 or 3 in the morning, and one of the guys had a broken leg, and so we went up on crutches. So we ended up carrying, Luis about 3/4 of the way up, laughing, just being stupid, going all the way up there at about 2 in the morning one morning. So that was a pretty good memory. Yeah, a lot of good memories, though. A lot of good stuff.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna get super sappy, and anybody who knows me knows that I am so not sappy, but my best memory was meeting my husband.
Aw.
My husband, Mike, and I went to Spain. We actually didn't know each other, and St. Mary's is amazing for letting you do travel abroad. And so I got to go to Ireland, I got to go to Australia, but this trip I was going to Spain to finish my Spanish requirements, and so was Mike, and we didn't know each other. Like I said, we had never met each other before, and oh my gosh, it's so sappy. But we met in Spain, and we fell in love, and we got back, and it was the beginning of our senior year, and we've been together ever since.
It's adorable.
So sappy.
It's not.
Best memory, I don't have one particular memory, but the thing that I look back on was meeting my 5 other roommates and spending 3 straight years with those guys, sophomore, junior, and senior year. I absolutely loved living with them, even though there were 6 of us living in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. It was a tiny little place, but we had the time of our lives. It was a really good time. We studied a little bit and had a lot of fun.
If it wasn't so darn expensive, I would have loved my own kids to go there. And, 2 of them applied. They both got in. We just couldn't afford it. But and the front end, it's bigger now, quite a bit bigger. I don't know if it's quite as communal as it was back then. I know they don't have as many brothers or priests there, and they added a real distinct flavor to the place. But I would still, highly be. I can't imagine a better place to go to school.
It was perfect. I went into it knowing how good I had it. It's exactly the school that I wanted. I got enough money that my parents could afford for me to go there, and so it was everything that I wanted it to be, and I wasn't worried about having tons of jobs or anything like that, so it was perfect. And I don't know, my best advice to give if you're on your way to college is just know that these are your 4 years. You get to be selfish in a really good way, and you get to do the things that you want to do, because you're building the person that you're going to be for the rest of your life. And so when I was at St. Mary's, that's always what I thought about. The idea of like, well, I could go there or I could just sleep. I'm like, I'll sleep later. Like that's, I don't know. I loved everything about St. Mary's.
Overall, I really loved it. I would go back again in a heartbeat. The first semester, again, is a tough transition. Being away from home was different. Being on a campus where I didn't know anybody at all was different. So it took some getting used to. But again, I think that's why it was so beneficial for me to join the rugby team, because then I got to know a lot of friends immediately and right away. And then you've got a community within a larger school. So overall, it was fantastic. The education was great. The location was nice. The campus, the professors were incredible. The food was terrible in the dorms. But aside from that, I really enjoyed St. Mary's.
It's a great atmosphere. It's a great education. There's a Catholic element that I always, appreciated. I taught in Catholic school for years and years, so I like that part of it. Also, it's a beautiful place. Classes are stimulating. Good teachers. It's A1. Be a Gale. You can be a Gale for life, literally, if you go to St. Mary's.
Because I went there. No, just kidding. Yeah. Because St. Mary's is great. I would say that go check it out. Go see if you like it. I've had students that I love these kids, and I think that they were like, oh no, I don't want to go to St. Mary's. Are you mad? Of course I'm not mad. Because they went there and they're like, it just wasn't the right place for me. I say go there and see if you fall in love with it the way I did. An incentive would be St. Mary's is, they really want to have the best students there. They want high academics, but they want a well-rounded student as well. So they give all of their alumni the privilege of, we get to sign any applications to St. Mary's and we waive your fee. So Viviani went there and he can do it, I can do it, Mr. Rubio. So I think that's something to think about if you're, I don't know if I should apply or not. We get to waive the fee for you. So it's just something to think about. And I think you should consider St. Mary's because it's an amazing education. You'll be close enough to home that you could come back to do your laundry if you wanted to, but mom and dad won't be stopping by every weekend. It's far enough away, but close enough that you're not feeling alienated, and an amazing education, great people. The friends that I made there, obviously my husband and I are still together, but my best friend in college was my best friend, or my maid of honor at my wedding. These are people that, they're my core group of people now. So St. Mary's changed my life for the better.
Okay, so if you are looking for a more intimate atmosphere where you're not going to be lost in a crowd, and you don't want to go to a class where there are 100 or 200 people, then I think St. Mary's would be the one for you. They don't offer as many programs as bigger schools do because it's just a smaller campus size. But if you are interested in studying one of the programs they do offer, then I think you'd really have a good time there, again, because the location is beautiful. It's a small little campus, but it's close to San Francisco. There's a lot happening there. And the education is great, and it's got a really nice reputation as well. So when people see that you've gone to St. Mary's, I think that stands out. Love Miss Beck.
And
What was that supposed to say?
say more
What was that supposed to say?
about her.
I don't know anything about her.
You just say more.
I don't know anything about her.
Ask her if she knows how to bake.
Mrs. Beck, do you know how to bake? Bake me some cookies.